It has been reported that Prince William threatened to take away Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie's titles unless they forced their disgraced father to leave Royal Lodge. The presenter Emily Maitlis, who questioned Prince Andrew during his notorious Newsnight interview in 2019, asserted that the Prince of Wales might have met with the princesses last week to issue an ultimatum. In the midst of criticism regarding their connections to Jeffrey Epstein, their parents, Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, are rumored to have finally decided to leave Royal Lodge, the estate they have shared since 2008, as talks over Fergie and Andrew's future continue. Fergie's friends informed the Daily Mail last night that the former Duchess thinks she has nowhere to go or anyone else to go with. However, others in the royal community have noted that the king has no legal obligation to Sarah, who has spent over 20 years living as a lodger at her ex-husband's house. In yet another addition to the story, Maitlis talked about the media circus that broke out outside Royal Lodge on Thursday night, following a tip to reporters regarding a potential development in the Prince Andrew affair. There was a question over whether there had been, earlier in the day, a meeting between Prince William and the princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, saying, "You guys have to get your dad to move out of Royal Lodge, otherwise we will start re-examining the state of your own titles," she hinted at in an interview with the News Agents podcast. They are currently permitted to be princesses, although we recognize that the princesses were under some pressure to declare that this would occur. It's easy to understand why Andrew, as a parent, would want to maintain their daughter's titles and happiness no matter what. We found out that Charles was scheduled to arrive via Royal Lodge on Thursday, fresh from the Vatican and his meeting with the Pope, to be seen, in other words, reading the riot actor's brother. She noted that although further information was unknown, journalists have been informed earlier in the day by the palace that there may be passing traffic outside Royal Lodge. Nobody was going to film the conversation or see him get out of the car, but there was going to be the moment caught on camera of King Charles's car heading to Royal Lodge. Maitlis continued, "I understand that the palace became quite anxious after seeing the helicopters and decided to call off the entire event because they feared it had gotten out of control. The king simply left for home and never returned." A request for comment has been sent to Buckingham Palace. According to the most recent development in the story, the former Duke and Duchess of York have reportedly demanded that royal officials give them 2 houses in Windsor, one for each of them, if they are to leave Royal Lodge. In anticipation of Prince William and Kate's departure next month, Fergie is reportedly considering adjacent Adelaide Cottage, while Andrew has reportedly asked for Harry and Meghan's previous residence, Frogmore Cottage. However, rumors that the pair, who have been separated for nearly 30 years, have sought 2 properties have sparked an angry response from people close to them, who claim the offer is misrepresentative of the truth and has actually been on the table for months. They asserted that it was an option put forth by the other side and at an early stage in negotiations. I'm not sure if it's still on the table. However, it is inaccurate to say that each of them has been requesting a new residence. There are no demands. People have been attempting to find answers. Insiders allege that Buckingham Palace simply does not recognize this account of events, despite the palace declining to comment on the allegations. According to sources, the king might think it wise to keep Sarah in the fold rather than let her write another autobiography. In 1996, the year she separated from Andrew, she published a memoir. In 2011, she published an autobiography. In recent years, the king has also shown his ex-sister-in-law compassion, despite her personal struggles following a diagnosis of skin and breast cancer. According to others familiar with Sarah's circumstances, she is completely on the edge and absolutely bereft. She is reportedly extremely embarrassed by the scandal, which has also come home to roost for her personally following the release of a cringe-worthy email she wrote to disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, in which she apologized profusely for publicly distancing herself from him after his 2008 child sex conviction. Regardless of Andrew's requests, should the king make him give up Royal Lodge? Yes or no? She allegedly constantly begged the rich pedophile for money to pay off her personal and company debts. According to a source, she is repentant and ashamed, but also fears that the scandal has fatally damaged her own business interests, including a number of new fictional books that are due to come out. People no longer want to be connected to her. The honest truth is that she has nowhere to go and no one to go with if Andrew loses Royal Lodge, the buddy continued. Her future is in jeopardy. The king is a kind man, but his patience has been pushed to the limit, stated another source. But another spare, the scathing memoir published by his own son, Prince Harry, in 2023, is the last thing he wants. For Andrew and Sarah, the former Duchess who once told the Daily Mail, "We're the happiest divorced couple in the world. It might be a cruel finish. We're divorced from one another, not from one another." According to royal experts today, their wish to part ways demonstrates the symbiotic nature of their connection. The relationship between them, as I've always seen, is symbiotic in a sense. Richard Fitzwilliam said to the Daily Mail. Recall the fictitious chic controversy in which Sarah Ferguson attempted to sell Andrew access for £500,000? Being together is profitable for both of them. The idea is that this has been a convenient arrangement that allows them to live at a particular standard. They've done a great job maintaining that facade. In my opinion, it was due to their tremendous avarice. The issue, in my opinion, was that this was the primary means of achieving the lifestyle they wanted. This arrangement has been in place since 2008 because it was mutually beneficial, but the point is, she's always traded on being the happiest divorced couple in the world. Sarah Ferguson claimed that this couple was the happiest divorced couple in the world. The royal expert continued. They appear to wish to part ways now. It is evident that their greed and entitlement were what made them ideal for one another following their divorce and the ensuing controversies and debts. They wish to live apart in two houses now that this cover has been exposed. The earlier arrangement was clearly intended to maximize the advantages of Andrew's public existence for them in private. The public's fury over Andrew's alleged benefits has grown when it was revealed last week that he hasn't paid the rent on the Royal Lodge property for 20 years. Although Andrew first attempted to dig his heels in by citing the conditions of his cast iron lease with the Crown Estate, it is anticipated that he will eventually move out. Andrew has only paid peppercorn rent for the past 20 years. T.